What's up, guys? Hey, I'm Dustin Ibarra.
And I'm Greg Baldwin.
And we're podcasting.
Yeah!
Yeah, man. Welcome to Good Things Are Happening.
Man, it's good to be here.
Good things are happening, dude.
It's awesome, dude.
It's
awesome,
exciting.
Man.
This is awesome because, like, we're doing this podcast and, like, good things are happening. And then it's like, I feel like we manifested this kind of. Greg, my friend.
Dustin.
How are we doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Doing good?
Yeah.
I'm doing fantastic, too.
You are.
Feeling good, man. I got a clean shirt on.
Nice.
Kinda. Yeah. What is it? What's that shirt you got?
Living my best life.
Living my best life. That's a good t-shirt.
That is a good t-shirt.
People are into inspirational shirts right now.
I know.
That's why the good things are happening
Dude,
shirts. Yeah,
you got to get some shirts.
I gotta get some
a
shirts.
shirt.
I'm gonna make them myself, I think.
Dude.
No, I'm not gonna make them myself. We should just order like a bunch of them just to like have.
But you know what? If we're going to resell them, we should make them ourselves.
Can I resell the ones that I wore? You know,
Yeah.
Like after they'll have
like have a little sweat.
Yeah, a little
black
sweat,
shirts though.
little back hair on it. Yeah. OnlyFans girls, they sell their panties. They're used in like socks and stuff,
Dude.
which I haven't ordered any,
Dude,
because they were sold out. No, I'm just kidding.
Sell a shirt, sell a Good Things Are Happening shirt, and then pluck one of your hairs, your famous from your famous hairdo, and you sell a hair comes to the shirt.
Okay, yeah.
Buy 3 shirts and get a lock of hair.
Get a lock of hair.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of like that deal.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
So Greg,
I want to ask you.
What?
Listen, we were talking earlier, and you texted me yesterday about something that really, really, really cool happened in your
something
life.
really cool happened. Okay, so
Whatever.
let's preface it. Like I was kind of having one of those like hard days of like, you just like having one of those like, oh, where's my career going? I got to do this. I got to pay this. What's going to happen, you know? And I talked to you about it. You were like, Dustin, just give it to God, the universe, whatever. Let that take care of that. And I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens later that day. Got a phone call, got booked on a CBS show.
Wow.
Yeah, gonna shoot in like 2 weeks, man.
Amazing.
Yes. And it is, okay, here's the thing. It's a show. Do you remember? Oh, so I did that Apple TV show a while back.
Yeah.
And this is so weird because I'll go through these dry spells of acting, and I got the Apple TV show and this show at the same time. So I couldn't do this show.
Yep.
But the showrunner was like, we like you. We're gonna write a part for you down the line. And I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. And then it actually came through.
Wow.
So I didn't even have to audition. Not auditioning is the bro.
That's incredible.
It's the best thing because I'm not a great auditioner. I'm good when I'm in the room, but now everything's just on tape.
I know.
And you're just
Tough.
like,
There's no human connection, dude.
There's no human connection.
We feed off and interacting.
We
with
do,
people,
yeah. And
or show and showboat, like performing in front of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And when I get on a show, it's awesome. I know what I'm doing. You're working with actors. You're like doing the thing.
Yeah.
But just an audition in your apartment in front of the camera is just, I don't like it.
No.
It's
cold. There's nobody there.
No, and which if any casting people are listening, please bring back the in-person auditions. I don't know if you guys got lazy or some shit, but bring back the in-person auditions, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Give me a chance to show my charm, dude.
I did a ton of auditions via tape. Nothing. I had one in-person audition, and then I got put on hold.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
So,
all of my in-persons I've went on, I've like gotten very far on.
Yeah.
And I've only been on like 3 since the pandemic. It's insane.
and this show you got booked on is it's a big show.
It's a big show.
It's a big show.
Big
I
show.
know
I
one
think
of
it's
the
an in
leads in it.
syndication.
One of the leads in the show is one of my friends.
Yeah, that's gonna be very cool.
It's so, but it's so funny because we were just talking about let's see what happens. Let the universe take care of it.
Yeah.
And then boom. And then the next day, I talked to you. You were like, "Yeah, it's like I feel better. You're in better spirits." And then
you feel good.
Yeah, you felt good. And then all of a sudden, you get it after that.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I'm happy about it. But it's also one of those things like outside doesn't fix the inside. But my inside's not really that messed up, But having cool things happen that feels good, Whenever you get some, it just feels good,
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It does. It really hasn't happened to me yet, anything like that. But
it's coming, bro.
I'm ready. I'm like, come on, let's go.
They're gonna fire me and put you in my place.
Plenty of good things happen. I haven't gotten a TV show, but I've had a lot of good things.
A lot of great things are happening, man.
But that's amazing. I hurt my back. My check-in is I hurt my back recently.
Yeah, well, okay, that's it. What a positive check-in.
No, so I'm gonna turn it into positive. But I hurt my back, so I was able to either stand up or lay down. So I couldn't sit. And
you couldn't sit?
I couldn't sit. So
like you couldn't sit up. You had to either be laying down or standing up.
Like if I'm standing up, it's fine. And then if I'm standing up, and it warms up, I'm okay. If I'm laying down, it's okay until I try to stand up. And then once I tried to stand up, it was like a cramp that would happen in my back. Like, you get a cramp in your leg in my back and it'd be like, ah, and it was so much pain. And, but anyway, what happened was I isolated. And so I wasn't going to my recovery meetings every day. Usually I'm supposed to meditate. I meditate 20 minutes twice a day. You sit up when you meditate. I couldn't sit up when I meditated. So I was like laying down and just taking naps. And like my meditation game fell off. I wasn't going to a lot of meetings. I'm sitting around thinking about myself all day. Yeah. Watching TV, scrolling on the internet on my phone and this and that. And I started getting very depressed.
Oh no!
And then it's that. Why is nothing's gonna ever happen for me in my life? And listen, I'm not suicidal, but it felt like I get to a point when I get that depressed is I wouldn't care if I wasn't here anymore. And so I was getting to that point. Now the thing that I've always had when I get that depression is I've always known it's temporary. So I would never act on it or do anything, bad. And I know it's always temporary, but I always tell this story about my recovery. And, when I first got clean, something miraculous happened. When I used to drink and use drugs, the thought would get in my head and I would go and pick up. As soon as I think it, I go do it. Right. And when I checked myself into rehab, there was this little tiny bit of space. Like I was in rehab and I'm like, oh, meth. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like and then I'm like, wait, yummy. How I got to get out. I got to get some money. How am I going to get it? But there was this little bit of pause, where that thought to reaction and going and doing it, there was a little bit of pause. And I look at that pause as like God's grace, or the universe's grace or whatever you believe in is grace. And for me, it's God's grace. And what's happened over time, I go to recovery meetings. I help people. I do service work. I meditate, I go to speak in jail panels, and that space between that thought to going and drinking and using has gotten very, very big. But I'm not cured of addiction. And so when I stop meditating, I stop going to meetings,
it starts closing in.
It starts closing in. And what that looks like for me is just how I felt recently. Anxiety, depression, I'm never going to amount to anything. And I get really... I don't care if I'm here anymore, like that kind of thing. And what I've learned over time and what my recovery program has given me, it's given me the tools to increase that space again and get back to when that space is big. I call it emotional sobriety. Yeah. And where I feel good and I'm okay and this and that. But I felt like after I hurt my back, I felt that space closing in. Yeah. And I was really, really, really depressed. And so what I did, and what this is the solution part of my check-in, is that I started meditating again. I started going to meetings again. I started picking up my game. I started talking to more people in recovery, and I started doing the things. And there's other things: clean your house, clean your car, whatever. And but I started, picking up my recovery program, and now I feel good.
You feel good, yeah. No, I feel that, dude. And those little things like help you get out of it. The whole cleaning your car, cleaning your house, things like that. I've been meditating like crazy lately.
See, that's good.
I've been meditating a lot, bro. I'll do that meditation because I'll mix it up too, bro. Yeah. Dude, okay, so I was on that like 5.5 hour flight to Boston. Yep. I meditated for like an hour of it, bro. I was just sitting there, just listening. What was it called? Binaural beats, man. And it's just like these crazy things. You're like listening. You're just like, oh man, I'm connected, bro. Yeah. I feel like I can move something with my mind after this. Yeah. You just feel like this is awesome.
I've seen the change in you.
Have you really?
You and I became really.
Are you
good.
one of those people that sees glows on people auras?
I
no,
do.
you don't. Are you?
Yeah, yours is purple right now.
Oh gosh, thank you.
You know what's funny though? When I close my eyes, I see purple a lot of times. I don't know why. And I've talked
I
to
do
other
too,
people.
bro.
I don't know what that means.
I remember us talking about that, and I think it's just maybe it's just like an eye thing, like with the light. I don't know, because I'll see like little splotches of purple. Yeah,
we do. So do I.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Greg?
If anybody knows out there knows what the purple splotches mean, please send us a message. We don't know what it is. I think it's that we're incredibly spiritual and we're living a life of recovery.
And I think that it's because we like McDonald's and see grimace whenever we close our eyes. That's what I think it could be too.
But I want to make listen. I've noticed in you, and I've known you since the beginning of your sobriety.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your sobriety, you were going through it.
More than 2 years now, sober. Oh.
Yeah, and you would call me and you'd be like, just distraught and upset and this and that. You called me often with that. And I would always try to encourage you and bring you up. You don't call me that way very often anymore. Every once in a while. I call you to it.
I've got new friends, bro. I'm sorry. No,
I'm
just kidding, man.
Oh, you found other victims?
Yeah, I don't have time for good. No, dude. I called you so much, man, and just complained and bitched and everything and just was like, what do I do? And thank you for always being there too, because a lot of people get tired of hearing you complain. And I can feel it now because you know how we like do the whole recovery thing. People will start calling, and every time it's like, oh my god, my life, and you stuck around, and thank you for that.
Yeah, no, but it's so much less now, and it's not because you're not calling me and complaining about stuff or whatever. It's because that's what happens in early recovery. It's very difficult when you take away drugs and alcohol. We don't have that solution anymore.
It is.
But you've replaced it with answering phones on Wednesday mornings and meditating a lot and helping people and stuff like that. So I've seen the growth in you, which is remarkable. Bro. But
I love you, Greg.
I love you too.
Oh,
dude.
man.
I love you too.
And I love this podcast. And today in particular, I'm very excited. We've got a big comedian and influencer on the show who I've done a lot of shows with down in the South Bay.
Nice.
I think we might live pretty close in the same area. But I'd like to welcome a friend of mine, super hilarious, Whitney Cicero.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
yeah.
Yes. Here. Thank you for having me.
You might know her as the new Stepford.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Instagram and TikTok.
Facebook, Instagram,
YouTube, TikTok. You're killing it out there. Your sketches are hilarious.
Do you want to be in one?
I would love to be in one.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I would totally be in one.
Oh wait, I don't want that to fall on your head.
Whoa.
Ghost, dude. It's a ghost up there. I'm seeing purple right now.
Oh my god. Justin, we could do something so hilarious.
Let's do it. I'm down.
I'm always available too, but he's fun. He's very funny.
We got to get you on one of our shows.
We do.
I would love to.
She books. Yeah, she does a Project Barley show, which is very fun.
Hey, did you get the texts I sent you?
I saw that. So you're going to different locations.
So they called and they said it was so successful because of Dustin Ibarra.
No. Whoa. Oh wow.
And they're like, can you do our second Lomita location? So they've added that.
That's
awesome. Is this like a food drive or something?
No, it's Project Barley. It's a bar.
Project Barley.
What's Project Barley?
It's a show right on Redondo Pier area.
Okay. Yeah.
Super cool. It's kind of like outdoor, indoor-ish type of thing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, my friend works there, and one night I was like, hey, do you guys want to have a comedy night? And she said, yeah, but I don't know who to do it. I'm like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like I've gone to Dano's shows enough. Like, and I have to say, I'm pat myself on the back. The comedians that are coming are so stellar.
Wow.
Like you, Joe Bartnick.
Thanks for having it.
Sarah
Well,
Joe Bartnick.
Not only do your spots pay, but we also get a free burger. Which
nice, dude.
My! You know what I did last week? Aiden was there.
Yeah.
And I was like, you gonna get a burger? You get one for free. And he's like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, well, hey, you mind getting me a burger? So I got 2 burgers that
I was just gonna say you ate Aiden's burger.
Bro, I did, and I gave him I did a custom order. Just go up and say no vegetables. Just a cheeseburger, no vegetables, ketchup and mayonnaise only. And then he went up
3
and
patties.
He came back and he forgot. He was like, what was it again? I'm like, oh, dude, don't say it all loud. I don't want people to know that I'm taking
I'm going to get
burger.
busted, dude.
Yeah. So I got two burgers out of that
Nice.
situation.
Nice. Well, I think it's really important to pay the comics.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a lot, but
no,
gas money
like
and parking
even if
money.
even if it's just something,
Just
it's the point.
And there's some,
nice.
I'll do both. I'll do like free shows too. And I get it because sometimes I'll know the promoter situation. Like, okay, they're not getting paid shit for this, you know.
No money's being made.
No, not. And if it is, it's a little bit. And they got to stay there all night and MC and do the whole thing. So I'm like, whatever. But yeah, if there's like a little bit of money, it always feels good. Yeah, it feels good.
Deserve to be paid. You guys are incredible.
Oh, thank you. So the show is in Redondo, and I met you in Redondo, I believe, right? In the South Bay area.
Yeah, you were actually a big part of my becoming a comedian journey.
What?
And you and I have never even talked about that.
No way.
So,
yeah,
I started to like. I think I've always liked comedy, and I saw you at the Comedy and Magic Club, and I was like, oh, he's fucking got it.
I know what you thought. You're like, I can do what he's doing.
No. Greg, that wasn't.
If this guy can do it. I've got way more followers than him. Definitely.
No,
I could do that.
It was totally the opposite. I was like, I aspire to be as good as him. And it was you and another comedian, Jess Porter, I saw out in Flappers. There's two people that I were like, if I could ever be as good as them, I would be so pumped. So you don't even know that. You don't even know that you were part of my journey.
Yeah.
And then my friend Jenna Brister, she started taking me. She's like, if you want to do this, and she just took me on the rounds. Like, we're going to just do open mics. Boom, 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 boom. Took a class. Wow. And then I was like, oh, I sadistically love this. Like, this is going to be a problem. I'm really into this.
I also love what we got down in the South Bay right now. There's a lot of places to go up. I do. Right. And I helped create like one of them because it was like, you want a place to go up. And Hollywood, you can go there, but Hollywood's kind of a shit show. Everyone's like vying for spots, you know, and it's far. We got Comedy Magic there, and that's good for the weekends. But those little weekday spots that you can just go up and no stakes comedy show where you can try stuff out, and you're like within like 10 minutes of your place. Nothing beats that.
Yeah. That's great.
I love that because I'm a very big believer, especially now that you don't have to be in a particular place to quote unquote make it. You can do it from anywhere. Look at these comics like Ralph Barbosa is a dude I think of, man. He's fantastic. He never had to leave Dallas either, man. He lives in Dallas, and that is awesome. You know, you can do it from anywhere. You just need spots to go up at.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about our little area down there in the South Bay is we got spots now to go up at.
So rumor has it the End is going to start their own comedy club. Have you heard that?
I don't even know what's going on there.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've heard like different things, but we'll see what happens. The End was it's great. It's a great place to go up at, you know. Even the open mic.
It's a little
sometimes
rough.
You'll get a good open
I got to
mic.
tell you, it's a little rough for a female comic.
Yeah.
It's a little rough of a crowd.
Something happened there where it really became one of those like hardcore
January 6th.
A little right-wingy type of thing, and you can really feel it. You know what I'm saying?
You're up on stage and you're like, oh, okay.
Yes, it's a very fight the power type of thing, and I've never been one of those comics. You know, I've never gotten political.
You're just funny,
dude. I try not to. I try not to be divisive. That's just not my character. If it was if it was part of my personality, then I would. But it's just not part of my personality. You know. So I'm not really into that. But yeah, it has become a little bit of a place like that. You know?
So I haven't done.
But it's also they've got like other comics too. It's like it depends on the crowd. Sometimes you'll get a great crowd, and sometimes they're all different.
Yeah. And I've met incredible people there, like great comics.
There's some great people that come down there.
It's fun.
So how long have you been doing stand up now for?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So I'm a bit of a newbie.
And you were doing were you doing the Instagram thing before that?
Yeah, I started on Facebook, then moved, and I was a late adopter to Instagram. Just because there's so many apps, like which one's gonna stick? Remember Periscope and Yik Yak? Like I never knew where I wanted, but once I saw Instagram was kind of sticking around, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start moving some stuff. And then we went from horizontal to vertical content. Yeah. And for a long time it was 7 seconds. Never go past 7 seconds if you want to go viral. And now they're saying, you got to do at least 45. And for a long time you're supposed to do live. So you're constantly dancing with the algorithm trying to figure out.
Oh, I hate dancing with the algorithm.
It's so
we try, we're with our clips and stuff. We're like,
some do really well, and some
It's weird. I never know what's gonna hit. You know what I don't like about it though, because sometimes I had to do this a couple weeks ago. I had a bit that was about 3 minutes long, and it was topical. It was about the astronauts in space and Diddy, and I wanted to put it up as one full chunk, But my fiance convinced me like if it's over 90 seconds, you'll get lost in the algorithm. So I had to break it up in 2 parts. But it's weird because it's one of those things now your comedy has to conform to like the algorithm.
Yeah, it's a little tough. But I'd say test it. I've seen comedians clips go for 2-3 minutes that work. If the content's good.
I had a 2.5 minute clip that got 500,000 views.
Yeah,
amazing.
okay.
So
and every now and then you're going, I shot that in my bathroom sitting on the toilet, 5.2 million views. What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And the other stuff, you craft, you cast, you set, you light.
Yeah, and they get
12,000, nothing.
Yeah.
I've definitely had that where I put a lot of time into a thing and it got nothing. And then those silly little like, hey, doing it, I'm eating a hot dog. Like 500,000 views or something.
I just had a clip that I just posted of our podcast with Fielding Edlow that I thought was going to just take off. And it was the joke about
Greg getting a condom.
Yeah, yeah, it's about a condom getting lost or whatever. So
in your
we
butt?
don't need to talk about it, but
yeah,
no, it's a joke. It was a joke.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to take off, and like TikTok silenced it after and then Instagram it got 0 views the first time, 0, and then it got like 120 after like 6 hours. So I just pulled it. But I thought it was a funny joke, but you just don't know.
You seriously, I was in Olive Garden. I was like, film me. And so my friends filmed me. And the joke was, I'm here eating salad because I can't afford Ozempic or cocaine. That was
because what?
I can't afford Ozempic or cocaine.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
4.8 million views.
Whoa.
Like instant. And
that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
TikTok, it did 10,000 views.
Wow.
So it's also interesting to see which is performing on the different platforms. And I haven't cracked that code yet. I cannot.
Whatever the algorithm is, you're at the mercy of whether they're going to keep it in the news feeds.
Yeah.
Right.
And think of it as it's a spout, right? You put it out there and if 16 people share it, out of 16, you're like, oh, this is hot content. So it opens up the spigot a little more and shows it to a little more people.
Yeah.
So that's why shares are so important. And now that's what Adam Mosseri, who's the head of Instagram, he's like, that's one of the metrics they're looking at.
Shares.
We
got to do that. Let's share each other's videos.
Share your stuff. Because then the algorithm goes, this is good enough for this person to go put it out to their friends.
Okay.
That's indicative. It used to be views, but now it's swapped to share.
We got a little clue right there.
We did.
We got to share it.
Yeah. And another question. I want to talk more about Olive Garden. So are you what's your main thing?
I used to wait tables there.
No, you didn't.
No way.
What?
Yes.
Wow. I am
holy.
Okay, wait, Greg. Can you sing the song with me?
No. Oh, the birthday song?
From the pasta we make to lasagna we bake.
Yeah.
We're baking fresh Italiano. It gets better. We season and we simmer the flavor you remember. We're baking fresh Italiano.
Been a long time.
So yeah.
It's like 30 years ago.
He did a lot of meth in between then. So some of the Olive Garden birthday lyrics might not stick.
But I sang this song all the time. And you know what? I'll tell you this. Olive Garden is an amazing restaurant. Their breadsticks are fantastic.
I love
the soup and salad the salad, but they put. I used to get the ranch salad because they put the onions in there and then the croutons and you mix it up. I'm like, oh, Olive Garden is the best.
Wait, you mixed ranch with the Italian dressing?
No,
that might be the greatest thing I've ever heard.
I think they discontinued the ranch.
Yeah, I haven't seen ranch on.
No, they used to have ranch, and I would make the salad with the. That's how I make my salads now because of Olive Garden. With red onions
I love you.
And carrots and like whatever it was. And it was like the best salad I've ever had.
It's super chilled in the chilled bowl and the chilled plates.
And the breadsticks. Oh.
So my favorite thing is I always would get the side of Alfredo sauce. I could eat that with the spoon.
So
you take your breadstick. You can next time you go and you cut off the top and you take the knife and you hollow it out.
Oh.
And then you fill it with Alfredo.
Oh.
And then you just in silence by yourself, just eat a breadstick filled with
I am so hard right now.
I know.
I don't know if we can continue this episode, Greg. I gotta go to Olive Garden, man.
Dude.
Wow. I gotta try that little filling out the
so good.
Hollowing out the bread.
Mark that, Alex. That's a clippable moment right now.
Okay, we found a little Olive Garden hack. My fiance found out about it. You get the kids meal. And it somehow comes that you get the kids meal Alfredo, and you get to add a free take home pasta.
Yes,
and it's some kind of crazy deal. She learned about it on TikTok, and it's only like $15, and you get like Alfredo. You add chicken on there. You get like a little Pepsi, man. Oh. It's a good deal,
and you eat
bro.
it the next day, right? They pack it up.
Yeah. You get that next day. I love Olive Garden. They do that. They're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna give you a little something
Hold on.
tomorrow.
Do you like act it out with like the waiter, like with Christy? Be like, oh, should we bring home dinner for our kid? And then she's like, well, I think it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting bigger now. You might want to.
What does Baby Ibarra want?
He needs his protein. Let's get some of those chicken fritter things.
What's this kid's name? What's your name? What's his name?
Oh, Parmesan. Little Parmy.
Parmy Ibarra.
Parmy Ibarra.
Parmy Ibarra.
We do these things where we'll start talking about something serious and it'll go into food. And it'll be like 30 minutes on that.
Chicken Parmesan was my favorite at Olive Garden. Besides the soup and salad.
Oh,
chicken Parmesan was.
I get the pasta visual and I say, throw a big handful of parm at the bottom of the bowl. So then it melts. So when you're eating the pasta visual, you got this like cheesy goodness, and it's not attractive, right? It's like fun. Yeah. That's the way to go.
This is like the typical idea of the podcast. Good things are happening, right?
Good things. That's right? Good
food is good things,
good food, yeah.
I've been begging Olive Garden. I've got a manager. I'm like, can you please get me an Olive Garden sponsorship? Because I talk about them all the time, and I shoot there all the time, and we don't want you.
Please. Oh, you could get so much free Olive Garden stuff.
I kind of wanted to take that viral video and be like, can I just get like a free breadstick? Like, it's worth 4.5 million.
They're unlimited, aren't they?
Yeah, but you got to pay for them in the beginning, right?
Well, you got to pay at the beginning.
Well, they come with the meal. Don't they come with the meal?
But Greg, did you notice if you want to take it to go now, you have to put it in yourself. They won't take your Alfredo and put it by. They bring you the Alfredo to the table, and then you have to put it in the to-go thing because people were kind of, I guess, abusing the system and taking it home to their fake kids.
Lazy.
It's like they were abusing the system, like ordering kids meals when they don't have
to their fake fictional Parmy Ibarra.
Parmy Ibarra.
Dude, if she gets pregnant, we're just gonna get Parmy Ibarra.
Parmy Ibarra. Yeah, you got to watch out because these deals sometimes we do take advantage of them. And Red Lobster, they went bankrupt because what is it? The all-you-can-eat shrimp. Or something. I
used to wait tables at Red Lobster.
You're my favorite person I think I've ever.
Anyway, when I waited tables there, we would put the food in a microwave, like the pasta in a microwave. It was microwave food. They actually had a microwave. And then the salad we would make ourselves. I mean, it just wasn't, It
wasn't as good as Olive Garden.
But can I say something right now?
Yeah.
I think I'm actually kind of high from a gummy I took like 4 days ago.
What? 4 years ago?
Right. Because that's not right.
4 days
It should wear off.
Unless you're on Ozempic.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
I can't afford Ozempic.
Because I saw something online that people are taking these edibles because Ozempic slows the digestion process. So they get high.
Yeah, I heard that. No, like I went and saw a show, came home, had a couple beers, and I was like, I need a good night's sleep. So I take a gummy. I can gets me through that 3:30 menopause wake up. So I took the gummy, and I don't know if you, they're gummy. They're sticky.
Yeah. I like how you just described gummies.
Yeah, these are gummies.
So I reach in the box and I grab it. And this should have been like my first indication. I'm like, this is the size of an Oreo. Like, I don't think gummies are supposed to be this big, right? And then I realized I had to eat it with 2 hands.
Oh, that's a big gummy.
Right? Because I was like,
edible.
Warning signs. Like, if you're eating it like an In-N-Out burger, I think that's...
that might be a little
comes
too
with
big.
a little brown wrapper. You're like, it's too big. But I was kind of too drunk, and so I ate it. And I'm like, 45 minutes later, I'm like... And then you wake up in the morning. I did sleep through the night. But when I woke up, as we all do, you go to check your phone. But I couldn't move my arms. I was like, oh, my arms are not online yet. But I still feel tingly, and that was 3 days ago.
That's the kind. That's the kind of high I like, man.
And I'm sorry, you guys are
high
sober.
you can't even move
you
your
can't
arms.
Move your arms.
You're tingly for like 3 days later.
Definitely remember that.
Hey guys, I'm Cecily, the producer of Good Things Are Happening. We got a sponsor. It's Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN or virtual private network, a tool that hides your online activities from third parties snooping around and collecting data, like the sneaky bastards that they are. When I travel, I set my location to home so that I can log in securely and work on behalf of my clients. I'm also learning Italian, and when I want to really get immersed, I can watch the news in Italian by setting my location to Rome or Milan. Protect your online privacy. Become invisible online with Surfshark VPN. And with our link, you save 83%. On the Surfshark One VPN Plus, you also get 3 months extra. That's $2.69 a month. Get Surfshark. Click the link in the description or on our website, goodthingspod.com, and surf safely with Surfshark.
Do you put out videos like every day or like every other day? Yeah.
I try.
That's cool. That's like, yeah, you've done really well on there. What's your biggest platform, would you say?
Now, I have 104,000 followers on Facebook.
Okay.
But to be really
on Facebook.
But to be honest, I don't really look at that platform. To me, it's like a cesspool of anger. I just don't even. But the way my posts go, I put it on Instagram and it automatically posts to Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So the other day, same thing, that Olive Garden one.
Yeah.
I've checked Facebook once a month. I was like, I've seen some weird like numbers. And that one did 5 million on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, didn't even had 3,000.
Well, your videos are great. They're very real,
Thank you.
Yeah, they're very real. I like the one where you rapped. That was funny. That made me laugh a lot.
Which one I rapped?
I can't remember which one. There was one in I scrolled through like all your videos one night.
That's so
and
sweet.
Yeah, they were
We should plug it. What is it?
The New Stepford.
New Stepford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like, you know what? I need to rewrite the narrative of what like a perfect mom is, because there's so many things like you should be in the PTA, and I was like, fuck that. I do not follow any of those norms. So I needed to come up with something like, what's kind of the new version of a mom?
Oh, that's smart. And
right?
I think that's why people, because people see your content, they like it's relatable to a lot of moms out there. And I'm not a mom that I know of, but no, that doesn't make sense.
Harmy's weeping in the corner somewhere.
I'm not a mom, but like you can see it. It's funny.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted to do. I was like, your kids are assholes. Sometimes you hate your husband. Like, can we just start honestly having conversations about what it's like to be a woman right now and work? And you're supposed to like sex, but are you too tired? Like, there was just a lot going on. And so, and there's not a ton of women my age that started when I started. So I do have that advantage a little bit.
You're not competing with a bunch of people, you don't think?
There's a lot of people, but aren't comedians. And that's the other thing that I found as comedians, like in terms of sponsorship dollars, we're the very last person to get them because we're irreverent, because we curse, because we're funny.
Oh, okay.
So a sponsor's,
I can totally see that.
A sponsor's like, oh, go sell my deodorant. Oh, but you cracked a fart joke and you talk about gummy weeds. Like they don't actually. So it
could be a liability. You know?
It is. Yeah. So I actually had $4,000 sponsorship get pulled.
Wow.
I had shot everything for them, but I had made an anti-Trump comment on my stories.
Oh.
And they said we can't touch political commentary. I'm like, yeah, but
You had me at $4,000. Well, hold on. You had me at $4,000 sponsorship.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the most I've gotten is $25,000 for one reel.
Whoa,
that's awesome. A significant amount of money.
That's incredible.
It's stupid money. But I haven't seen that. That kind of dried up last year. They're not.
Wow.
No, but you can get it back. They'll come. They'll come.
You're sweet.
Yeah.
Olive Garden.
Yeah, Olive Garden is on the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
People make a lot of money doing that. Huh?
You can't. Oh yeah.
I've seen like a little minuscule things.
I tried to cast you for something. Do you remember that? That's before we were really friends.
I do remember that. But also, here's the I also have like an agent and manager, and so like if I come to them with things, then I got to get them involved. They're like, Dustin, what the fuck are you doing this?
Yeah, and that was only like $300 too.
But so. I know, but I'm like, I wouldn't mind $300.
Exactly.
You can do that without your agent, dude. They don't care.
But here's the thing: they have standards, and I don't. I'm one of those guys like I'll take anything, sure. And they're like,
$300 is $300.
It's good to have that.
They want to make sure that you're not doing stuff that could hurt your brand.
I guess. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're good. They know what they're doing. But
I cannot wait to be like, I knew him when. You're gonna blow up so big.
Oh, you know what? It's funny because I was at the Improv I don't know, a week ago. And the general manager, the booker for the Chicago Improv was there. And Dustin and I went and you've done it multiple times, but we did it together. So I was talking to her she was in town. And we were talking about Dustin and about you. And she said they had a meeting with all the managers and all the improvs or whatever. And they were trying to figure out who's the next up and comer. And she said, Dustin Ibarra is going to blow up.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. That's very cool. That's nice of her.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
You walk on stage and there's just something like you just command it immediately.
Well, thanks. And I think things are better now. because if I would have gotten something like that before, I probably would have screwed it up. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like I like where my head's at now. You know, you get older, you get wiser.
Yeah.
Quit doing blow and drugs.
The other thing too,
and you're getting married,
it's important
right?
to stay humble, or have humility, because every time that I start thinking, oh, I'm like, you know, oh, I'm great, even with recovery, and I do a lot of public speaking around, and then I'm like, oh, I got this, or this, I'm special, I know stuff, or whatever. Whenever I start thinking that, I always get humbled. Yeah, you know, and so it's important to.
God, I hate getting humbled. It happens, but that's the thing about stand-up. You get humbled a lot.
All the time.
All the time, bro. Yeah, you'll start feeling good.
And then they're like,
nice, I sold out last night. You're at some place at your Project Barley on a Tuesday. Like, what happened?
And everyone's just staring at you, and you're like, no, I'm funny.
Yeah. No, I love Project Barley. It's a good show.
Yeah, it's good.
You get humbled on Second Show Fridays. On tour. You just got humbled.
I did.
You got humbled on a Second Show Friday.
The fight almost happened. Those Second Show Fridays, there's some drunk people out there because they get off work and they've been drinking since they got off work, and then they go to the show. They're tired. They're drinking.
And is it like shows that start at 10:30?
Yeah, late shows. Yeah. It's kind of a. That's why Steve Martin quit. That's what they say.
Yeah,
you know, Second Show Friday.
Who told me that story? I think Daryl.
That should be the name of your next podcast, your spinoff podcast.
Second Show Friday.
Daryl Hammond always says, he always tells me, careers end on Second Show Fridays.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's wild. Are you thinking about doing some touring or anything?
You got to educate me.
Sell some tickets.
You got to educate me on how to do that. Like, I don't know. Who do I call?
Oh, well, you just, yeah, we'll talk about it. But things are different now than it was, like, because you can pretty much just get a one-nighter at a comedy club, and if you sell a certain amount of tickets, you'll make some money.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, because I'm just emerging out of my bringer show cocoon, and I'm like, a couple of the bookers are like, people have stopped showing up. I'm like, yeah, because they're sick of me. Like, I can't tap. You can only tap your friends so many times, right?
So,
yeah, that happens at the beginning.
For anybody who's listening, what a bringer show is, it's for newer comedians that you get booked on a show, but in order to be on the show, you're expected to sell a certain amount
20
of tickets.
So
what well, that's a lot. So what happens is you sell all your friends tickets, and for me and for other newer comedians, probably not you, but you're not very good yet. And so you sell tickets to all your friends, and they come out, and they're like, and it's this horrible show of all these brand new comedians. Right. And then you're kind of, you know, from my experience, you're ripping your friends off.
Yeah, it's not a great thing. Don't do bringer shows anymore.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm done doing bringer shows, so now I have to figure out how to like
shows. Yeah, go. And I would have told you that in the beginning. If you would have asked me, I'd be like, don't ever do a bringer show.
I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the bringer shows.
Because you get stage time, but you can get stage time other places where you don't have to bring people. But I don't know. It's a double-edged thing.
I could use some advice.
Bringer shows are one of those things. Like, because it's just like it feels so icky.
It ruins comedy. It ruins comedy.
Yeah,
it's traumatic. You know, listen, it's traumatic being an audience member going to a show with a ton of brand new comedians that aren't funny. And a lot of times what happens with newer comedians is they go to dirty. And then there's nothing worse than a super dirty comedian that's not funny. And it's traumatic. And like nobody wants to sit there uncomfortably and be expected to laugh. And then the comedians are horrendous. Yeah. You know, so
Greg, it's traumatic. It's a traumatic person. You and I are like you and I share the same brain. Because that's why I got so fatigued with dick jokes because of these new male comics. I was like, that's all they would talk about. And that's one of the reasons I finally was like, fuck it, I'm going to try this. I can't be worse than that guy. Yeah. These 8 guys that talked about their dicks for like 2 hours.
If you go to any open mic in the country, anyone will be like, oh, I could do this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You finally were like, okay, I can do that.
But that's a crutch for newer comedians is, and I did it too, is you go to dirty and things because that's, you know, you think you can find the funny in the dirty, but then
it's not funny.
It's not funny.
And it is kind of like how your mind works. Because I was never dirty in the beginning. Now I'll get a little bit dirty. But in my head, if I'm trying to think of a joke, the first 3 things are probably going to be dirty, stereotypes, maybe a little racist, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's how, but then now you'll see some comics that are just doing all that, and you're kind of like, that's kind of cheating, right? You know, like you see a lot of Asians can't drive, Mexican bad credit, which, hey, I've used the Mexican bad credit. Late show Friday,
you're Mexican,
definitely,
dude.
Yeah, but it just feels like, that's a little bit hacky.
Yeah.
But
and I because of the way I look, I'm not allowed to make fun of my looks. I'm not allowed to make fun of my weight, because I tried, like, I'm an LA 4, I'm a Tennessee, and he's like, nope, you're too attractive. You
it's
can't.
Weird
you cannot play on those jokes.
People.
But I'm like,
I've noticed this in women. They don't like you shitting on yourselves. Like female comics, I feel like the audience doesn't give them, like, if I go up and I say something like very self-deprecating, it's like, but I feel like if a woman does it sometimes, they have this like, oh.
Yeah, there is a little bit, but then you got to get over it, because that's my sense of humor.
Yeah.
My self-deprecating stuff works pretty good. You gave me a new tag, so I do my new opening is, should I say it? Is
yes.
I know what you're thinking. What's crackhead Kiefer? Why is crackhead Kiefer Sutherland doing stand-up?
Yeah, hey, Alex like that one.
That's good.
Alex, we got a big laugh, right?
That totally works for you.
That's a great one.
No, I did it last night at the Brea Improv, and it got a huge laugh. I'm like, oh, that's okay, because I used to do poor man's version of Kiefer Sutherland in a joke, and then always got a huge laugh. And you gave me crackhead Kiefer Sutherland.
I love a good look-like. If no one knows who you are, I feel like a good look-like joke in the beginning.
Yours
always works.
Jack Black.
Homeless Jack
Yours
Black.
Is Jack
Black.
Yeah.
Although I quit kind of doing that now.
You should bring it back.
I did it on the Tonight Show, so I feel like, and I know like not a lot of people have seen it, but I'm doing it forever, and then I feel like, but
mine's like, I know I look like someone ordered Uma Thurman off the Wish app.
See, that's perfect.
And
wait, say that again.
I know I look like someone ordered Uma Thurman off the Wish app.
Oh,
I've seen you do that. That always crushes.
That always good. Yeah. It does good. So
that's good.
Our lookalikes. How adorable are we?
I know, right? Whoa!
Who's that?
Who's that? That's our Good Things Are Happening pod
producer Cecily Korst. Oh my God, what are you doing here?
Wow, that's an awesome shirt. Where'd you get that? It says Good Things Are Happening. That's the name of our podcast.
Got it from the website.
What?
Yeah.
There's merch on our website?
Everybody has merch, dude. We can't get away with not having merch.
There's a way that people can support the Good Things Are Happening podcast by buying merch? That's crazy.
What?
It's cool merch, too.
Good merch.
It's good merch. Check it out. GoodThingsAreHappeningPod.com. Is that the website?
That is. Good thing.
Oh, yes.
Right. Oh.
I did.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, check it out, guys. We got a bunch of things on there. We got shirts, hoodies. Do we have socks?
We don't have socks.
We should get socks.
We should get
socks. Are coming.
Socks are coming.
But yeah, if you want to support the podcast, go to GoodThingsAreHappeningPod.com. Check out the merch section. We got a ton of things on there. And have fun. Spread the word. Spread the podcast.
Good things are happening.
Good things are happening.
Good things are happening.
So you're married, you got kids, and you live in Redondo or
Palos Verdes?
Palos Verdes. I love Palos Verdes.
Oh, come.
I'm gonna go up there. I go up there sometimes. You guys, it's a little out there, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's the end of the earth.
It
really is. And that's like why I'm challenged to get up to see more comedy. I wish I could, but it's a good hour 45.
It's
hour
a long
50
ways,
to get
from Palos Verdes. But that's what's cool is you got the South Bay thing. There's like a club
You're
there
in a
too.
bubble. You're just like in a little bubble. I like my bubble down there.
I love it.
That's
I love it down there. It's great. Yeah, we'll hang.
My kids are gone. You have a room to stay in.
Yeah.
Nice.
And my husband's a good cook. So
he's a good cook.
My husband's an amazing cook.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So you'll
food and free board. You're
yeah.
Room and board.
And a jacuzzi and a pool. You can hang out.
You got a pool?
And a
oh my God. We're so hanging out.
Yeah.
I love
I actually thought about that the other. I'm like, I wonder if I can invite like Dustin and Greg and Joe and like some of the comics just down and hang, like just a social.
Have a pool party.
Get to know everybody like outside of just the, hey, good up, man, you know.
Oh, and we'll get Olive Garden to cater it. yeah. That's what we can do. Yeah. We'll shoot a bunch of videos.
Dustin,
it'll be fun.
That's so brilliant.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Oh my God, I love you. That's so great.
What do you do to keep your, because now that you're doing stand-up, I guess you've noticed how stand-up does a lot on the emotions sometimes, for me anyway. What do you do to like get through that? What have you always done?
In terms of the soul-crushing insecurity?
Yeah, what have you done to deal with like, and just in life, like anxieties and like What do you do? Because what I do, I'll do some meditation and, like we talked about, like cleaning the house, cleaning the car. Yeah. Is there anything that you do like to keep it together?
I think it's actually the videos in the comedy.
The videos?
Oh, that's good.
I think like that's where I direct my nervous energy. Like I've got a thing on my phone, like you got to shoot this. This is a funny concept. You got to turn that into a video. So I think that's where it goes.
That's good. I feel like
that's a new one, dude.
Yeah, that is a new one, but it's a good one because I feel like
it's creative.
Yeah.
Yes, and also obsession in something that you like is kind of good, and I guess it's a double-edged thing because it could be bad, but it gives you something to focus on. Yeah, I
can't meditate. I envy those people that can get quiet in their brain. But my brain is just like, you gotta shoot this, you gotta shoot.
I can meditate.
I'm sure I could, but
I can help you with that.
I don't fucking feel like it.
I gotta go shoot a video.
Just eat a gummy.
No, or 3. I can help you with that. So I used to learn, I try to meditate on my own. I'd sit down like a little pillow on the floor or whatever. And then I would go, okay, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to close my eyes. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I heard concentrate on your breath. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to concentrate on my breath. And I'm like, wait a minute. I gotta take a breath every second for the rest of my life. Like, how can I remember to keep breathing? Like, this is like, I can't now, and I can't keep breathing forever. This isn't. And then I start panicking and lay down and I take a nap. And then, or I sit there and my thoughts are so crazy that I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Just like you had just said. But I heard somebody say that a very well-known meditator and teacher of meditation had said that the goal of meditation is not to quiet your brain. So if you have those thoughts going on, that is actually your body releasing stress and anxiety, and you don't try to suppress those thoughts. You just allow them and observe them. That's part of the process. Oh. I went to my teacher one time and I said, I don't think I'm meditating right because I can't stop compulsively thinking. And she goes, Greg, that might actually be a perfect meditation. Because your body and your brain, you're releasing so much anxiety and depression. That's probably more beneficial than if you're able to go quiet.
But so I wanted to compliment you also on your visualization of what depression feels like and those gaps in between. I haven't heard recovery described that way before. And I appreciated that because
thank you.
That's
you should hear this dude share about like he speaks at these big functions and does it's awesome.
Thank you.
You're like the powerful Dave Chappelle of recovery.
Thank you.
Like speaking, dude. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's very brave to get up there. And
we were talking about humility though, and I started speaking at these conventions and stuff, and then I spoke at one last Saturday, and I didn't the one before similar, I got a standing ovation about a recovery share, and then this one I didn't get a standing ovation. The guy said after, he sent me a text, oh yeah, a lot of people said you did a good job.
Oh man!
I'm like, good job.
Good job.
Did you make a few of them
I get standing ovations.
I'm like, oh, I bombed. I bombed at my recovery. I totally bombed at my recovery share. But then I thought, you know what, this is a good. And then I'm like, you know what, I don't need. As soon as I start getting full of myself, and I think I know anything more else than anybody else, then something always happens. But
what do you do, Dustin?
What do? I do meditate. I got a nice morning routine now. Get up, pray, gratitude list, meditate, call an a recovery alcoholic person, and go to a recovery meeting.
Wow,
that's solid.
Yeah,
that's solid.
Dude, it's like it gets me on. If I miss one of those things, I can feel it in the day.
Interesting. Does that take you to noon, 4 o'clock, or is it like you get it all done by 8 o'clock?
I'm done by 10:30.
That's a lot to get done by 10:30 in the morning.
Not really though. It's pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, the meeting is like an hour long. The meditation is like 10 minutes, sometimes 15, 20. Gratitude list is pretty quick. Just call someone real quick, pray really quick, Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, and that's one thing I never had in life. I never had any kind of routine, or I started stand up when I was like 17. So I never did and I've never had like a real job. I had like one real job. So I never had structure. All I really knew how to do was do stand up and write jokes, but everything else, that's all I cared about. I didn't care about anything else, And so you eventually can't keep on writing that thing, Maybe I could have, But then along the way, like drugs and alcohol popped up for me. And it wasn't bad at first, but then it got pretty, it had some dark areas in life. And then I found this, and it was like, it got me.
It worked.
Yeah, it's a better way to live for me.
You know what I think it's added to your life? Service.
Yeah, helping people out. That's like a big
Instead of just sitting around thinking about your career and your stand up and how am I going to get this and stuff. Now you've added a significant portion of your life into service of others.
Yeah, and I want to say too, I'm not against alcohol or drugs at all.
No,
you know, they're just not for me. You know,
what'd you end up doing, if you don't mind me asking?
What
kind of drugs did you do?
I was a big coke dude. Yeah, big coke dude. Well, weed was that was like my thing, like every day. But that wasn't as. If I would have kept with that, I probably wouldn't have. And I never did the other stuff. I'd probably be fine. Maybe, who knows?
The alcohol was causing
the alcohol was,
and you were alcohol.
The
and
alcohol was causing
I was meth.
That was the alcohol was the
drugs.
big like. Yeah,
you were for alcohol because you'd lose control drinking.
Yeah, I'd go.
Were you a good drunk or bad drunk?
From jobs, huh?
Good drunk, bad drunk.
In the beginning, good drunk, and then towards the end, almost always a bad drunk, and didn't know when it was gonna happen. You know, it was just, and then it gets to the point. It's a progressive thing. If you got the whole alcohol thing, yeah, it gets worse and worse and worse until you're just like, they have this saying, it's either you end up either jails, institutions, or death. You know, and I was definitely gonna end up probably death. You know, I was in a bad spot. You know, but not anymore.
So proud of you guys. I know how hard that is.
Have you had to go through anything kind of crazy in life?
Something happened in your life recently.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, my dad shot himself 3 months ago on his birthday. And
I didn't know it was 3 months ago. It
was quick. March 27th. So was that 6 months ago? It was so. Ugh. He had been talking about it for 10 years. I'm going to kill myself. And he had Parkinson's. And the joke was like, you better do it quick or you're going to miss. And, you know, and then I had to update that joke. I was like, oh, he didn't miss. Like he
killed himself.
He killed himself. He walked to the end of a cul-de-sac at the end of a parking lot and this was in his suicide letter. Like I wanted to do it in case I missed. I wanted to make sure I didn't hit anybody behind me.
Wow.
And I also wanted to do it in a place where my body would be found.
Wow.
Because it was his birthday and I was going down the next day.
Oh my God. I can't believe that happened so soon ago. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's tough.
It was tough. I mean, I was telling Greg, like he had been talking about it for so long. And to the point where my brother and sister and I would get on text and be like, Dad's super suicide-y today. Like, da-da-da-da. And Dad, let's get rid of your guns. And he's like, if you get rid of my guns, I'm just going to stab myself or I'm going to hang myself. I'm going to kill myself. And then we said, I became a very good expert in medical aid and dying. Medical aid and dying is about how do you allow someone to die with dignity. And there's cocktails. So for those of you guys that are listening, you essentially need to have 2 doctors that will tell you that you have less than 6 months to live. So you need a main doctor and a consulting doctor. And you can find them, but they usually cost like $10,000 to do that. And if both of them will say, yes, you have less than 6 months to live, they will write you a cocktail for pills that will kill you and put you to sleep. But Parkinson's, as we found, is not a life-threatening disease. And so even though he really had, lost all feeling in his hands and his feet and he couldn't eat because Parkinson's screws up your esophagus, we couldn't get doctors to give us that prescription. So we said, okay, Dad, let's go to Switzerland. Let's go to Oregon. There are places that don't have as strict things as California. But whether you agree with this or not, he was very pragmatic financially and was like, that's all your inheritance. Like, why would I be spending all this money? I'm like, well, Dad, because nobody fucking wants to find your body. Like he and I had a very honest relationship. I don't want to find your fucking body. I'm not cleaning your brains off the back of the wall. Like this is not the relationship. This is how this ends. And so I think part of that was why he did it where he did it. But Greg and I were talking, like the scariest part was going to his apartment that next day to be like, what am I going to find in the apartment? Like, is there going to be letters? Is there going to be what? And the letter was just lovely and kind and beautiful and just said, I'm sorry that I'm doing this. And I'm sorry for the next couple months. This is going to distract and disrupt your life. But, this is how I want to go. But I've become kind of a silent advocate for medical aid in dying.
Yeah.
I'm too much in my trauma response right now to actually take action on that.
Brand new.
But it's like, it made me really angry to be like, why can't we die with dignity?
Yeah.
He was done. His body was done. He had a great life.
Yeah.
Let the man die how he wants to die. And he had to take it to shoot himself in a public space.
Yeah.
Like that infuriates me. I'm not mad at my dad at all. I'm like, that's how you wanted to go. I'm glad you went. And you know, when you talk to the people that passed in your life, you kind of go, hope it was what you wanted. Are you happy how it ended? Like
Ernest Hemingway, I think, got blown up. He was in the war and he got blown up, and he had a near-death experience. And they asked him, was dying hard? And he said, dying would have been the easiest thing I've ever done. You know, so if it's any consolation, your dad is in a good place.
Thank you. I think so. He was in so much pain. But I'm obsessed, not so much with near-death experiences as the kids that come back and say, oh, I died on that ship, mommy.
Yeah.
Oh, you were my mommy
before.
That
reincarnation
that makes my
thing?
nipples hard, and I'm like, oh, more of those.
That was a good one.
That was a good.
Reddit, like, oh.
Yeah.
Tell me all those.
The kid that knows how to like fly a fighter jet and shit. Yeah, that's a trip.
I picked you, mommy. I picked you. When
there
I
was
up
the
in
one
heaven.
that kid. Yeah, he was on a ship in the army or whatever. There was one person that died, and he knew all the people's names. And then he would always draw pictures. I think this is the same story. He'd draw pictures of the helicopters that would crash and stuff. And there was one person on that ship that had passed, and it was a helicopter crash, and it was him, and he knew. And all the people whose names he said were actual names of people on the show.
You can't fake that shit.
You can't fake it.
No. There's some crazy things going on.
So if it's any, I mean, but listen, I think the death that we deal with here, it's not hard on, it's easy for them once they transition. It's easy for them. They're in a better place. It's hard on us because we miss them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a thing. Like they knocked on my sister's door, the medical examiner. That's never a good sign when the medical examiner comes, not the cops. And he had taken his walker to the place he wanted to do it. And he had taped on a piece of paper, and, after my suicide, please contact my children.
Oh, wow.
Maybe our bodies are just shells, that we're occupying for the time being.
Oh, fully.
Fully.
Yeah.
They're just shells that we're occupying. And then, who knows what happens after, but it's
and I believe I don't know which religion
like
this is. Maybe it's Buddhism, but there's like the 14 levels, and we're kind of here, and you go up and down as you reincarnate. Yeah. And I'm always convinced that I feel bad. Like I think the worst level of hell, like if you're really bad, you come back with that disease where you have boils all over your body. I was like, I think that's God's way of saying you fucked up in your last life.
I believe that, dude.
Or an Olive Garden breadstick. And you come back. That's, like you're going to be of service to people. But
I must have done something really bad because I was a Red Lobster waiter.
Both of y'all. What do y'all do?
Yeah. I was going to ask you, like, what do you do to deal with that stuff? But I know, because I dealt when my brother died, in 2019.
I got up on stage the next night at the end.
It's time.
And I did a whole set about my dad's death, and I wrote a song about it. And it was, the audience went.
I was going to say the end.
Yeah. They were like, what the fuck? But it's our way of being cathartic. Like
it is. Yeah.
You write, you perform, you get on stage and you go, yeah, this fucking sucked. And anyways, on light topics. Do you want to talk about my dad?
This is part of life. Death is a part of life, and
that's what we talk about. Stuff like that on
Do
here.
you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we get jokey. We talk about Olive Garden and stuff, but we also we talk about real shit. I like it. Well, Whitney, thank you so much for coming. Where can people find you at?
I am at the New Stepford online. The New Stepford, Whitney Cicero. Give me a follow. I'm trying to hit 100,000 followers on Instagram.
You're right there.
Nice.
I'm so close.
Yeah, you're very close.
I need one more viral video to do.
Oh, just one more.
Or everyone that listens to this podcast.
Well, you're going to have one more after today.
I had so much fun. This went so fast. Yeah. I was nervous.
Really?
I kind of was like, well, what are we going to talk about? I've never really done one of these, so.
Oh, well. Oh, now you can go into the next one. You'll be like, oh, yeah, I did that. It was awesome. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you on Tuesday.
You'll be on Joe Rogan next, probably.
I'm sure he'll love me.
Yeah. Yeah, but thanks, Whitney. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Where am I looking? Boom.
Bye. Bye. Yeah, where are you looking? That was awesome. I'm Dustin Ibarra.
I'm Greg Baldwin.
Find us on social media and on the web at goodthingspod.com.
You can also find us on Instagram and YouTube at Good Things Are Happening Podcast.
We're on Patreon. Sign up because we're going to have some cool stuff on there.
Like really, really, really cool stuff.
So dope we can't even talk about it. Yeah. And remember, when life gets you down, good things are happening.
Good things are happening. Help somebody.